Let's see here. Maybe, let me put my other microphone in. This might be better. Trying not to do too many things while I'm driving. But audio is very important, right? Okay, people. Hello there. Well, this is sort of like a weird live stream. I usually give you a heads up before I go out to shoot a video to generate some interest, but I was in such a hurry this morning and so excited I forgot. So I'm kind of doing a little live stream after the fact here because it's been a couple months since I've checked in with you. I know I had a bunch of content that I've been editing and releasing intermittently, but nothing new since maybe January. And I was dying to get out, and I had a bunch of ideas. And today is the first day of 3 different concepts I had, or ideas. They're not really concepts. What you're going to see, hopefully in the next few weeks, will be a single edited video on Burro Schmidt. I think his name is William H. Burro Schmidt. And look him up. He's a pretty fascinating dude. He was like a miner, actually more of a tunneler. And he moved out from Rhode Island in the 1902, 1903, because 3 brothers and 3 sisters all died of tuberculosis back in Rhode Island. And I guess genetically their family was, susceptible to that. And plus the cold, damp weather in Rhode Island wasn't helping. So I think the doctor said, if you don't get out of this climate, you're going to die in early age too. So he moved out to California, to the Mojave Desert, where it can't get any hotter or drier. And he started being a miner, I guess. He started mining. And he had a claim up on Copper Mountain in the El Paso mountain range. And he started living up there, and he had 2 burros. That's how he got his nickname. I think it was Jack and Jenny. And he was trying to find gold, and while he was going about his mining business, he decided he wanted to create a shortcut through a mountain because it was too steep maybe for his burros to go, and he didn't think it was good for them. So he started digging a tunnel through the top of the Copper Mountain, and he wound up tunneling for 38 years, depending on which account you read. 35, I've heard 33, 38. But he did it every fall and winter. So if you take 38 years and you figure he was tunneling half the year, he was literally digging through that solid granite for about 19 years. And he did get to the other side eventually. And the tunnel was 2,087 feet long. And that got him into the Guinness Book of World Records, and it got him into the Ripley's Believe It or Not. So so now he's kind of a celebrity. People are telling him, "You're a crazy man. Why are you doing that?" And I think he just became obsessed with completing his task. And I think people erected shrines to him about his perseverance and his dedication, his commitment. Dude is really fascinating. So so I heard about this tunnel, and I found out how to get there. So the road is a little sketchy, but this Honda Element is pretty reliable, and we got up there okay this morning. I left at before dark. Actually, it's right up there right up in those mountains. We're passing by it now. Um, and so we found the camp. We explored his old camp. We took some photos. We went inside the old cabin, recorded some of the the details of the place, and then we went on and we found the tunnel, and we went through the tunnel and photographed that. So all of that will be hopefully cut together into a video soon, but we weren't done yet. I also heard there was a cool cemetery not too far from this location. Right after Randsburg is a town called Johannesburg, and there's a cemetery there, and that's where Burro Schmidt's remains were buried. And coincidentally, the woman who wound up purchasing Burro's claim after he had passed away and after his caretaker had passed away, her name was Tony, Tony, if you said it, I would remember it, but Evelyn Tony, I'll remember later. Anyway, so she became kind of a celebrity, and actually she died in 2003, and her grave is right next to Burro Schmidt's. Burro Schmidt died, I think, in 1954, and he was, I think, 3 days shy of 83 years old, and his goal was to make it to 84, so he was a year and 3 days shy of his goal. So he's buried next to Tony, and about 100 feet away is his business partner, or his caretaker, the guy who helped him on the claim and helped him with the tunnel. I think the tunnel became kind of a thing where people wanted to come out and get taken on tours of it. So I think they had a little small business where they were taking people for tours. Anyway, that guy's name was Mike Lee, and he was born in 1888, I think. That's what it said on his gravestone. And he died in 1963. So he died, Tony Seeger, that's her name. Evelyn Tony Seeger. Evelyn Tony Seeger bought the claim from Burro Schmidt, I guess some years after he had finished the tunnel, and it was just kind of a tourist attraction at that point. And she and her husband wanted to live up in the mountains and kind of in a more peaceful and natural area. So anyway, they bought that claim, and she built her cabin on the same piece of land. And her cabin is a little more elaborate. It's got more rooms. It's got more stuff. You'll see what it looks like, or looked like, when the video's done. And so she ran the place, and she took care of it for I'm going to guess from 63 to through the 70s, and then up to 2003 is when she died. So I don't know how many of those years she was up there, looking after the tunnel. So all that being said, there's quite an interesting little backstory in these mountains. And you walk around out here and you think you're in the middle of nowhere, but things happened out here. And walking around the graveyard, there was a bunch of people, a bunch of historical graves in there that I think each one of them is a fascinating story. It's actually kind of interesting to see some of the graves that are kind of weathering away. They're sort of being returned to nature. They're rotting and melting back into the dirt. There's plants growing out of them, and it's kind of, I guess, nature's process of just bringing things back full circle. And those people had their lives. They were out running around doing stuff, doing crazy things, doing normal things, and passed away out here somewhere near Randsburg, and they got buried there, and that's the end of their story. So I guess this is the end of my story too. I've been just yammering away here. What else can I tell you? I stopped in Randsburg to get a burger. Delicious burger, but it took an hour for them to make it because I think I came right at the tail end of a big rush, and there was probably 25 orders ahead of me, and one dude was grilling the burgers. He had a helper, and I figured, well, you know, when you're in the desert, you gotta just go at the desert's pace, you know. So I just hung out, waited for my burger. I think I ate it in 20 seconds, and now we're driving home. We're excited because we're gonna start downloading all the content. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up with my equipment, and then I'll be in the editing booth for a while. There's another video I'm planning to shoot next weekend. I don't want to give that away yet. And then the weekend after that is Easter weekend, and I'm actually heading through the desert, not really planning a big desert trippin' shoot or anything, but I'm going to see my son and just hang out with him. And maybe on the way home I might stop at one scenic photo location that I've never been to. It's kind of nearby and on the way, so that'll be cool. So I guess I feel guilty for not having shot and uploaded more content during the fall and winter. Those are the months when it's most pleasant to go out. You know, your camera's not overheating, you're not overheating, you're not, you know, dehydrating and catching on fire. So I wound up getting a chest sickness. I wound up with a mild case of asthma after in December having COVID, and it kind of fucked me up. So it took me a while to recover, and I didn't want to rush it, so that's why I was out of commission for a while, and now I'm back just in time for the next few weeks. Hopefully it won't be too terrible, and hopefully I'll be able to work around it. I mean, a lot of videos I shot before were in 105, 110 degree heat. I mean, you can shoot for a few minutes and then your phone overheats and you got to cool it off. Sometimes the phone will die right in the middle of a really good take, and you know, you just got to deal with it. But sometimes the heat becomes part of the story. So okay, now I've really overstayed my welcome. I think you're all caught up for now. I'm gonna pull over here, and actually I don't have to pull over. I can just sign off here in 3, 2, 1. No, I can't sign off. Okay, sign off in, I'm going to pull over and sign off because it's always awkward signing off when you're driving. You know, let me just stop here for a minute. Okay. Okay, people, thanks for tuning in. Please be patient. Watch some of my old videos now. I'm really trying to keep my my views and my watch hours up. So channel had a nice spurt of growth, and then it kind of slowed down. My fault, not yours. But if you can recommend my channel to a friend or a family member, you know, that's how it all happens, you know, by word of mouth. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming along. Joe Bui Desert Trippin, over and out in 3, 2, 1.